Yo, what's going on? It's Turn 2 Podcast with your boy Coach Marcus. I'm back here to answer another few questions that got asked to me over the week. And just want to get those kind of clarified and kind of get my input on things. So here we go. The first one is, hey coach, a coach asked my son to step down from an A team to a B team due to playing time, reps, and things like that. Do I think personally that's a bad thing? No, especially depending on what age we're talking about. If we're talking about younger kids, let's say anybody from like 13 and under, right? If a coach genuinely says, hey, I think it'd be better if so and so goes from this team to that team due to reps, playing time, experience, or anything like that, I think it's a good thing. Okay. First of all, I applaud the coaches for hopefully being honest. And we're going at this with the intent of getting the kid better, not just with the intent of, hey, I want to get this kid off of my team. Okay, because he might be dragging us down or she might be dragging us down, whatever it may be. But hopefully the coach says, hey, in order to get this kid up to speed where we need them to get to, we need them to get more reps, and I need them to get more reps at the developmental stage. Okay, maybe the main team, they're sitting out too much. They're too much of the last option, and that coach can't quite develop him the way, or develop the kid the way that they need to be developed. So they ask that kid, hey, or the family, hey, it'll be the better option to send the kid down so they can get the reps, they can get better. That way, when they do get the call back up, they're ready for that task. They do it everywhere. They do it in the pros all the time by sending people to AA and AAA. Okay? They do it all the time. All right? So don't think of it as a bad thing. Okay? Think of it as a way to get more reps, get more playing time, and more importantly, use it as motivation. Hey, they didn't cut me. Instead, they just want me to get better, and they're trying to implement this plan for me to get better. Okay, I think if you go at it too much as they don't like blah blah blah, my kid, they think my kid sucks, blah blah blah, then you go and ultimately get rid of that or get away from that team. You're gonna cut ties and you're gonna have a bad taste in your mouth. Instead, think of it as a positive thing. Okay, now there's certain situations there's certain situations where, like, let's say coach is playing bias and this kid's clearly better than most of the kids that are playing, but for some reason the coach keeps choosing to play the other players over this player, then in that situation you need to probably part ways. But I'm talking about if you know you're in a good organization where the coaches really have the players first in their mind, then I think that this is a really good thing for you to do, especially at the younger age group, because you have time to develop. I think once you get to like high school and stuff like that, the developmental teams kind of get pushed on the back burner. I think anything younger than 13 though, being asked to get sent down is not a bad thing. Now, in high school or like 14 and up, if you get, developmental teams are kind of tough because where you're trying to get to. At that stage, if you're playing 14 and higher travel ball, I imagine that you're trying to be competitive at your high school baseball level as well. If that's the case, we have to look at being sent down as a motivator. We have to get back into the weight room. We have to get back into the batting cage. We have to get back into the lab. There's no choice. You have to. If you want to play high school level, then you have to make these things happen. But yeah, that's my kind of like quick take on it. Being asked to get a little bit more playing time is not a bad thing. Get that playing time. Use the main team that you got sent down from. Ask the coach, can I still come? And the kid is able to sit in the dugout, warm up with the kids, watch how the game is being played, and just seeing the game speed. Because the most important, I think that where this becomes most prevalent at is when especially on our side when we get rec ball kids that are just transitioning into travel ball for the first time, but in the rec ball they were the real deal, right? They were like the best, one of the best ones. Mom and dad think they're really good, so we have to break the news from that. Hey, you might have been the best in your rec ball, but in travel ball, majority of these kids are the best. Were the best at their rec ball. So you're really not showing. You have to show us that you can play. If you can, if you're like one of the better ones in rec ball, but then you get the travel ball, the kids are throwing harder. Baseball IQ is way higher, so that means the pace of the game is way faster. I think that's the killer for most kids, is that the pace of the game just becomes too fast. Okay? So that kind of brings me up to my second question today was, hey coach, my kid is good enough, they're talented enough, but I think the pace of the game just kills them. And what I say to that is, you got to get them watching more baseball. You got to get them watching more baseball with the intent, with the proper intent. You're not just watching to look for home runs or like just watching to pass by time. You actually have to watch and look, analyze, see what position that you play. Watch that position player play, okay? Watch how these guys are hitting. Watch how they're running the bases. Be picky. Watch how they're doing things. Watch how quickly they react to certain things. Watch their pre-steps. There's so many things that if you want your baseball IQ to increase, you have to pay more attention to detail of what you're watching. Okay? Number two, I think is you obviously have to get more playing time. That goes back to question number one of the day is you have to get more playing time. If you're not getting playing time on the main team that you wanted to be on, then swallow the pill and say, hey, coach, what are some other ways I can get on the field? Whether that be getting sent down to the developmental team to play when they're playing, okay? Whether that is to go play a lot more pickup games with other squads. You have to get playing time. You have to get game time. You have to get game-like reps. If you just rely on practices and sitting the bench 3 innings out of this 6-inning ball game, it's not going to work, or it's not going to work as quickly as you would like it to be. Okay? If you are clearly lower, getting hindered by baseball IQ and pace of the game, then you need to start to take the proper steps to get those up. And it's more than just, I'm going to the batting cages, I'm going to practice with my dad, I'm going to hit off the tee by myself in the backyard. It takes more than that. That's part of the equation, sure, but a bigger part of it is going to watch and study and playing with people, playing in the game with people who play faster than you. Okay? So if you're one of those people who are struggling to play at the proper pace of the game that you need to be playing at, that the competition that you're playing in requires, go watch more, go watch with intent, go practice, go playing more games. Like I said, don't be afraid to say, hey, I'm on the A team, but can I get some B team reps? Don't be afraid to ask coach, hey, is it cool if I go play pickup games with other people so that way I can watch or play in more games? You have to get more game-like reps. And I know that organizations are not going to like, no, you're not going to go play with anybody else. BS. Go play with other people. You have to. It's part of baseball. It's a sport. I'm not going to gatekeep you. Good organizations should not be gatekeeping you to one thing. Okay? Expand your mind. Go and explore. Okay? It helps with baseball IQ all the time. Okay, one mind, if you just pick apart one mind, no matter how good they are, just like with me, if you just pick my mind, even though I might think I'm one of the best minds out there, it's not, you have to get more than that. And other people can teach you ways of the game that I can't teach you, that I didn't see the way that they see it. Okay, so go connect with other people. Question number 3. Hey, coach, my kid is transitioning from coach pitch, machine pitch, whatever it is, to kid pitch. What are some quick tips that you can share with us to help better this process or help speed up this process? That's a really hard question, and it's not a hard question to answer. It's a hard question to put in place. Okay, so when we're going from coach pitch to kid pitch, the biggest thing that we have to understand is coach pitch, machine pitch. Those things are trying to hit your barrel. These balls that are being thrown or pitched to you are trying to hit your barrel. So you as a hitter don't have to do a lot of work, but really just swing. In kid pitch, the kid's objective on that mound is to miss your barrel. So there's more balls, there's more competitive strikes, there's more deception out there for kid pitch compared to coach pitch and machine pitch. So I think that right there is the first thing that you have to tackle, is having the kid understand that in kid pitch, they are trying to miss your barrel. That means you cannot stick with the same plain swing over and over and over again. You have to learn how to swing at low pitches, high pitches, middle, outside, inside, and lay off balls that are outside the strike zone. So you have to teach your kids to understand that aspect. Okay? Different ways to approach this is, hey, on tee work, set up high, set up low, set up inside, set up outside. Move that tee around. Don't just have a fixed position on the tee. Second thing, when we're doing front flips, okay, front flips is very important, okay? And so are side tosses, okay? When you're doing that, focus on certain places. Tell the kids, hey, we are strictly looking for outside pitches. I want you to take the inside pitches. So that way, when I'm tossing to the kid, if they see an outside pitch, they know they're on green, they're on go, they're going to swing at it. But if they see that inside pitch, they have to go, oh, red light, I can't go. I'm not supposed to swing at that. Pitch recognition, okay? Teach the kids how to see different pitches, different locations, and teach them what to lay off of, what to look for. And I think that would be a really good spot to start off with, because that's one of the hardest things to kind of overcome. Second hardest thing, or not in any particular order, but another hard thing is timing. Okay, mom, dad, whoever's pitching to the kid, coaches, whoever's pitching to these kids, first, if you have team together, or if you have more than one kid together, they need to pitch to each other constantly. It doesn't matter if they're good at pitching or bad at pitching. They need to see a kid actually up there going through a motion and pitching to that batter. Okay, they need to see that as a hitter and a pitcher. They need to see a live hitter in the box, and they need to see live pitchers on the mound. Okay, see that constantly. It needs to be weekly. It needs to be weekly. Okay, coaches, you can do this too by stepping back and going through the pitching motion yourself, going with the high leg kick, doing what you need to do to mimic what the hitter is going to see when it comes to game time. Okay. So coaches, don't be afraid of it. You need to go through your pitching motion and do not lob the ball. These kids need to start seeing firmer throws. Okay, they are going to see kids who throw hard, who throw slow, who throw medium, who throw wild, who throw consistent strikes. They need to see everything. Okay, so let them see everything. Okay. The biggest thing with timing on that is, one, what we just talked about is seeing a pitcher live on the mound. But two, coaches and parents, you got to make sure your kids are loading up and getting to that launch position in the correct time. Okay? You don't want kids loading up so early, getting that foot down, just waiting there for days to swing the bat. You also don't want them to be having their legs still up while the pitcher's already in the zone and they should be swinging. Okay? Practice with that timing, with the leg kicks, with this low to strides. Whatever it is that you do, you need to practice it. Okay? And it's as simple as on deck. When you're waiting on deck, that is a free 10 reps. A free 10 reps you can get of just timing. Coaches, stop letting kids slide. Parents, stop letting your kids slide on deck. On deck, they should not be sitting there. They should not be looking at you saying, hi, mommy. Hi, daddy. Oh, you need me to hold my elbow up? Oh, no. Focus on that picture right now and get your timing. Make sure it's perfect because or at least really good, not perfect. But as soon as you get up in that box, if you have not gotten a single lick of timing, you are putting yourself in a less than advantageous position to hit. Okay? You need to have that timing. So get the timing on deck. Okay? That's pretty much my tips on those on just kind of going from coach pitch, machine pitch to kid pitch, is understanding that, and of course watching MLB, watching the strike zone, also understanding, also telling the kids to understand that umpires are going to be a lot more lackluster in youth baseball. They're going to have bigger strike zones. They're going to have inconsistent strike zones. What you might know for it to be a ball or a strike, they might call the opposite. So if you know that a ball, like that's clearly a ball that's out the zone, that's 3 balls off the plate, but the umpire calls it a strike, then understand that, you know, we need to have that conversation and tell that kid, hey, you were right, the umpire's wrong, but at the same time, when it comes to the game, we have to understand that. But anyways, that's enough for me today. That's Turn 2 Podcast. I'm Coach Marcus. I'm out.